Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Laith and you might know me from the Social Streamers, a YouTube channel centered around grand strategy content. I'm collaborating with Paradox Interactive to show you the basics of Hearts of Iron 4. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the UI and explaining what each of these buttons and icons actually mean. When you first start a game in Hearts of Iron 4, cast your eyes to the top left of the screen. This is where you'll get the most important information about your nation and the various ways in which you can interact with it. It's worth noting at this point that hovering over icons or buttons will give you more information and a short description, as can be seen here when I hover over the political power icon. To the right of this, you have stability, which marks how supportive of your government the people are. War support, which is the overall proclivity for conflict. Manpower, which shows how many men you have left to throw at the enemy. Total factory count, which you can probably guess. How much fuel you possess, as well as how long it will take at your current rate to deplete your reserves. The percentage of logistics fulfillment, helping you to keep an eye on supplying your units, and your convoy count, something to be wary of if submarines are on the prowl. In this section, you have alerts that notify you of pressing situations or concerns. As before, hovering over an alert will inform you as to why it's being shown and what can be done to rectify it. For example, this first alert has told me that I have research slots available, indicating that research should be selected. An aspect of the game I'll cover more in depth in a future video. Finally, we have the buttons to the left of this. Selecting each button will open a different menu, offering more in-depth information and the opportunity to make the decisions that will impact your nation's future. Speaking of, the first tab is the Decisions tab. In this menu, you can react to changes both externally and internally. For example, as the USA, if you wish to clamp down on a rising communist influence in the nation, you can institute anti-communist raids. Hovering over a decision will inform you of the effects. For example, in this case, the raids will result in an initial decrease in stability with a reduction in communist support and an increase in weekly stability over time. Country formations can also be selected here. If you wish to restore the Byzantine Empire, or even the Ottoman one, here is where the decision will be taken, provided you've achieved the prerequisites of course. The next tab is the Intelligence Agency, where an agency can be created and upgraded, as well as agents instructed to undergo covert operations. The Research tab is where the current research can be observed and free research slots assigned. As I've said, more on this later. Diplomacy shows you, at a glance, the relations between you and the various nations that are still standing in the world. Additionally, it allows you to sort by geographical region or affiliation. The Trade tab allows you to import much needed materials and resources for your efforts from other nations, as well as displaying what resources you're currently in excess of, allowing you to plan accordingly. This number displays how many convoys would be required for trade with that nation to be facilitated. This is the Construction tab, where excess civilian factories can be put to use. This will also be explained in depth in this tutorial series. The Production tab allows you to assign military factories and dockyards to the various military equipment and ships that you've researched and would like to produce. The Recruit and Deploy tab is where you can train divisions, as well as edit existing templates to ensure that your troops are appropriately equipped for the enemy you're facing and the resources that you possess. The first of the final two tabs is Logistics, an important tab as it displays equipment surplus and deficit, as well as how much is being produced or lost with the current state of affairs. After all, men are useless without guns to fire, unless of course you're the Soviet Union. Speaking of questionable tactics and war plans, this tab is the Officer Corps tab. From here you can select the ethos of your army, hire advisors, and shape the type of warfare your forces are suited to. If you were to select your nation's flag in the top left, you'll be confronted with the Nation Overview screen. On this screen, you can see the various modifiers affecting your nation at a glance, as well as who's actually running the government. It's worth noting that the traits your leader has will have an effect on your nation, for good or for ill. This chart displays the current representation and subsequent influence of the fascist, communist, democratic and non-aligned parties. A majority of 51% will be enough to dictate the ethos of your government. Looking below this, you can see three distinct sections. It's here that you will spend the majority of your political power. Political power can be seen as the ability of your nation to enact change. For example, to change conscription or export laws. Advisors can also be hired from the Laws and Government section, like the democratic reformer that will steer the politics of a nation in a specific direction to radically alter the fabric of your government, as well as the popular figurehead who will help to increase the trust in the powers that be. Moreover, you can also hire military staff to help with the effectiveness of your military, as well as certain design and research companies that will aid you in their area of expertise. There are many different tabs in this game and ways to affect your nation. If you're ever in doubt as to what an icon, tab or modifier ever does or represents, hovering over it is the best way to find out more. Beyond that, enjoy trying everything out. Just try not to think about the millions of lives that you're affecting whilst doing it. Thank you for watching. Join me next time as I take you through the map and more in this Hearts of Iron 4 tutorial series. Also be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a thing.